There are moments when history doesn't break, it shifts, quietly, structurally, in the way people are asked to live and what they're told to believe about that life. We are in such a moment now. Information moves faster, systems grow more precise, but the basic agreements of care, who deserves it, how it's offered, what it means to be protected, are thinning in public. And not just because the world lacks solutions. Across much of the planet, there are communities who've chosen to build systems around people, where health care isn't a privilege, where education isn't a right, where childcare, housing, and food aren't market gambles, but part of how life is honored. This isn't idealism, it's infrastructure. It's reality in many places, and yet those who've held the microphone longest, those who've developed West, have often been taught to look at the rest of the world through a lens shaped more by media than by contact. We are told we have the blueprint, that others were behind, that our systems were the goal. But what we exported was not care, it was control. What we globalized was not education, it was entertainment, commerce, opinion. What we called freedom became harder to recognize in the presence of propaganda, corporate rule, and governments that forgot their people until it's time to divide them. Because the more a system forgets the value of its people, the more it fears the strength of others. The truth is, diversity isn't a slogan, it's a strategy. A strong world doesn't come from isolation, it comes from exchange, from listening to how others build, from honoring what already works, from releasing the myth that dominance is design. Human rights are not beliefs, they are baselines. And any structure, government, media, ideology, that needs to divide in order to lead has already failed to govern. What we're being shown now, more clearly than ever, is that complexity is not a problem. Erasure is. And the opposite of erasure isn't noise, it's attention. So if we are to shift, not just politically, but humanly, we must learn to measure systems not by their slogans, but by their capacity to care. To care across difference, to care without dominance, to care in ways that let others live. Because the future isn't built by the loudest voice, it's built by the most rational one. Not power over, power with. Not the exported image, the lived exchange. Not the myth of progress, the practice of humanity. And if there is still a choice to be made, it is whether we will continue to center systems or begin again with people.